Welcome to Faith Stories with Dawn DeMarco Buck. In the same way, let your light shine before others so that they will see your good works and give glory to your Father in heaven. Matthew 5:16.
Hello and welcome to Faith Stories. I was going to say Facebook. And that would be wrong.
Welcome to Face Off.
And what is Faith Stories? Faith Stories are Christians from all walks of life who share their stories of faith, hope, and love. And my prayer is that you would come to know your Lord and Savior through these stories, but also through His Word, which is the Bible. So if you need a Bible, please reach out to me at faithstorieswithdawn@gmail.com, and I will be more than happy to get one into your hands. Okay, my girlfriend Stacy Herring, she passed away in September of 2024. Get her book. It's really a page turner. It's Fields of Gomorrah. It's about a 16-year-old girl who got caught up in sex trafficking after she ran away from home, having a fight with her mom. And it's 3 Christian women who are in prayer and guided by God, and they saved her and many others. And it's a really good book. Check it out on Amazon or Barnes & Noble. All right, you guys, I can't wait to introduce you to my dear, beautiful, gorgeous friend after the messages.
Broughton Garage Door Sales now offers you a difference with the LiftMaster Secure View Ultra Quiet Smart Opener with camera, LED 360-degree lighting, and battery backup. Built-in camera adds video and two-way audio communication to the MyQ app. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage anytime, anywhere from your smartphone. Schedule today at broughton.com.
Just simply call Broughton. We open doors for you.
Tavilla Properties, located at 11471 West Sample Road, Suite 17, located in Coral Springs, Florida, for all your commercial needs. Call Jan at 954-341-1632. That's 954-341-1632, or visit www.tavilla.properties.com. Welcome back to Faith Stories. If you have any prayer requests, please email me at faithstorieswithdawn@gmail.com. That's faithstorieswithdawn@gmail.com. I need to read this. Hello. And welcome back. Okay. This beautiful lady, we met back in January, instantly hit it off, and I invited her to come on to today's show. And let me just share with you who she is. Her name is Melissa Butterworth, and she is a powerhouse entrepreneur, investor, and creative visionary. As the founder and president of Advanced Strategic Partners, she specializes in laboratory diagnostics and has built a legacy of success, leading over $2.2 billion in transactions over the past 2 decades. But that's not all, you guys. Beyond that, her achievements in business, Melissa is such a passionate angel investor, backing innovative ventures such as, this, Junie Tea, a brand founded by Hollywood icons J.N. Roddy Sherry. Melissa is also a prolific author, having penned multiple acclaimed books, including The Endgame, Clues, and The Endgame for Hospital Executives. I am so excited she's here. It's so funny. We met before because we wanted to just chat and visit with each other, and we were having so much fun I didn't want to leave. I didn't. I was like, oh, let's just stay here. But Melissa, I want you to talk about your upbringing, what happened when you were a little girl. How old were you you were like 8?
Sure, yes, Dawn. And first of all, thank you so much for having me here today. It's just such an honor to be here and such a privilege to be able to share my story. My real God-given purpose is to try to help inspire as many women out there as possible. So to talk about my upbringing a little bit,
yes, please.
I am a country girl at heart. I've got my boots on here today. You can see my boots.
And they ain't your cowboy boots.
Yes, I've got my boots on. You know, they say you can take the girl out of the country, but you can't take the country out of the girl. And so I was born and raised with 2 very humble parents. They were actually school teachers. And so, you know, we had a huge farm. We had all kinds of horses, dogs, and pigs and cats. And we really had just an absolutely beautiful, beautiful upbringing. It was very faith-filled. Both of my parents had us in church every weekend. We were raised non-denominational,
Right.
which was great.
I think that's the best way.
Right?
I really do.
Yes.
Because the other stuff is more man-made, and to me, you want the relationship with him directly.
Exactly, exactly. And little did I know that what I was in store for.
Right.
So, I had very humble roots, and both of my parents worked very, very hard, but we really didn't have a lot. We were actually pretty poor. I had maybe 2 or 3 dresses, and I'd have to wear them every other day. So that was really hard when I was a young kid.
Well, yeah, because children are not nice.
No.
They're very mean, and boy, I tell you, and they'll call you out on stuff, and you're like, you're a little kid, you don't know.
Exactly. So that wasn't easy, and then when I was in 3rd grade, is what you mentioned earlier. I had a pretty traumatic accident, and my right arm was actually severed from my body. It was very, very traumatic, as you can imagine.
Oh my God, I can't.
Yeah, it was hard. It was a really hard time in my life, and for me, and then also for my parents.
Parents, I know. Can you imagine what they were doing and like freaking out that, even though you have faith, you still walk through these trials.
Right.
Right.
Little did I know that God was just using these setbacks as setups for my future.
Isn't that the truth?
It is. I
love that you say that. It's not a setback. It's a set up for what's coming, to prepare you for what's coming. Which is so awesome.
1,000%. Like I try to teach that to young girls today, that if you see events that happen in your life that you feel like are traumatic or maybe a setback for you, it really is a setup.
Absolutely.
Especially if you start seeing synchronicities where you have multiple different types of events. And so I had a number of medical events, and that was the very beginning of what I say my medical journey.
Right.
And they were clues that really led me to where I'm at today. So
unbelievable.
Yeah.
So talk about that. So you're how old? 10 years old, and when you're in 3rd grade, right?
Yeah, I was about 8 or 9 years old.
8 or 9.
Yeah.
And so, what kind of? Obviously, you went through a lot of. They had to reattach the arm. You literally are a child. And did your parents pray over you? Were they those types of parents, or was that not something that you guys did, or how was that? Because obviously you were raised in a faithful home. So how did that help you through this?
That's a great question, and I've never been asked that question before.
Well, that's why you're on Faith Stories.
That's a great question. Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, absolutely. Like my parents, 100%, a lot of prayer. What's ironic is that when I woke up after a very long surgery, I saw my dad laying next to me, and he was actually in the gurney next to me in the bed, like as if he was a patient. And for a moment, I thought I had died, and I thought that I was in heaven. But what had happened, Dawn, was that the doctors told my dad that I was likely going to need a prosthetic.
Oh, really?
And so he fainted.
Oh my gosh, I don't blame him. I think I
fainted.
probably would have done the same thing if you were my daughter.
He fainted, and we were both now patients.
And at least they kept you together, right?
They kept us
my
together.
gosh.
So
Oh my
anyway, I thought I had died, and I thought maybe I was in heaven. But yeah, just a lot of prayer. We had some great doctors. We had a lot of physical therapy for the next year and a half, 2 years, because you had to relearn simple things like eating and being able to write and.
And it was your right arm? That's your
it was my
dominant
right
arm?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But what's interesting about all of that is now I use both my right and my left arm.
Oh, because you had to learn because you couldn't use your right arm
Yeah.
right away.
Yeah.
See,
And
that's
so-
a blessing and a clue right there.
It is. It is. It
Right?
is.
Oh my gosh.
It is. So it was one of the earlier things. But yeah, a lot of prayer, and I always had a lot of faith, but I think that just really propelled my faith to a whole new level.
Right.
Yes.
So okay, as you're growing up, I know that this had a lot to do with what you're doing now. So what other clues, as you have in your book, which is amazing. I've read parts of it, not all of it, and I'm going to eventually get there. But the clues that you had as you were growing up in the medical field that you're in now and what you do now.
Sure. I'm going to share a funny story with you.
I love funny stories. Can you imagine?
Put on your seatbelt for this one.
All right, I'm ready.
I'm want to fast forward all the way from 8 years old to 16 years old.
Okay.
And, you know, my teenage years, like most people's teenage years, I was pretty rebellious, pretty wild.
Hello, not me.
Pretty wild.
We'll have conversations later.
Because I was a rebel.
Yep.
And by that time, my mom had changed careers, and she was actually in computer sales.
Okay.
She was on the road a lot. So when she was on the road, she was the one who was the taskmaster and the one
You
who
were
was
going crazy.
Yeah, I was going wild
Oh,
and
yeah.
crazy. So I was 16 years old. I was out with a group of friends. We were riding around. Of course, we were drinking beer in the car. Right?
I know. Like, I didn't do that.
Yeah. So I had to use the restroom, and there was no restroom within like 2 to 3 miles. So what do? I do what probably most people would have done, and I jumped out of the car and went behind a bush.
Right.
And asked my friend to cover for me.
Right.
Well, it was like 2 seconds behind the bush, and a big, huge spotlight came up on
No
me,
way.
and it was a police officer.
You're
kidding. No.
Oh my gosh! It
And
takes me
so-
more than 2 seconds to pee. I gotta get acclimated.
So lo and behold, he actually arrested me.
No.
He arrested me. My parents had to
Really?
come down to the precinct,
Oh my
and I had to. 3 months later, I had to hire attorneys. 3 months later, I ended up before a judge, and of course, the judge dismissed all of the,
Right.
and said, "Look, I'm going to dismiss all of this.
Right.
However, you have to serve the entire summer of community service, and I'm going to make you serve it at a local blood bank."
Okay. Oh,
And
wow.
little did I know that summer would be the beginning of what I now. It's made me a lot of money, and it's been very rewarding, but it was the beginning of my career in the diagnostic industry.
Well, and that's what I find amazing is that you were so young and you heard God's voice in the sense that those clues that he gives you along the way, and recognizing that this is what you're supposed to do, and that he was instructing you all those years ago. You know, I mean, because when I didn't come to know the Lord until my 30s, so I was clueless. I was. Even though I knew who he was, I didn't know him personally.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so now I'm in tune.
Yeah.
But over the last like 30 years, I've been in tune to, just following what he wants me to do. And I find that fascinating that as a teenager, that was implanted in you to know that that's what you were going to do next.
Yeah, and that is a very good point. And it goes back to Steve Jobs, who said you can only really look at your life back and connect
Right.
the dots. My God-given mission is to help women figure out how to connect the dots moving forward.
Right, which is so cool.
It's so cool.
Yeah, oh
and,
my gosh.
And I've got a whole system that I have worked on for the last couple of years about how we as women can actually train our subconscious mind to go to that next level so that we can become aware of those clues.
And I think that's so important because, one of the things that you posted on Instagram was to listen to music, like for 20 minutes. Well, this morning I thought, you know what, I do that sparingly. And this morning I did put praise and worship song, 1.5 hours.
Wow.
I was just so in the presence of the Lord. And it didn't seem like an hour and a half. And I was just like, okay, I think I need to start getting ready, And I was so blown away by that. But when you said that, I was like, you know what, I'm going to try that again.
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
That is so great.
Yeah,
it is great. And what Dawn is referring to is I was talking about how important it is as women that we create a system. They call it our prefrontal cortex, which is that part of our brain that likes repetition, and it likes to get up in the morning and just go to the same place for the same coffee.
it's true.
Isn't it true?
Right, yep, absolutely.
Yeah, and if we can, it's true, we have our things that we go to. So if we can train that prefrontal cortex to do other things like
Right.
listening to the
Praise and
faith-filled
worship.
messages.
Right, yeah.
It's so
Because, oh
important.
my gosh, why wouldn't I start my day that way? I spend the morning with the Lord anyway, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to praise and worship him instead, which I do anyway, but this was just really powerful, and I encourage you guys to try it because it is so incredible. It starts your day off with just such joy. Even in the midst of sorrow, you can have such joy in the Lord, right?
Absolutely.
So, okay, so now you're 16, you know we're gonna go back to how this all, I mean, seriously, girl, she is an amazing businesswoman. So you're 16, you know this is what you're gonna do, and how did you go about doing it? Did you go to college? What college did you go to? And how that all came to be? Because, come on, girlfriend, not many people do what you do.
Oh, thank you. Thank
know?
you. So I went away to college, and really I never felt like I fit in. I was the type of person that I ran away from my hometown, and I think what I was running away from was myself. Right. All of that.
And you're still with you. It's like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Oh, it's still there.
The problems are still there. I mean, hello.
I think we do that. Yep.
Yeah. So I ran away as far as I could. I was going to run away to California, but I ran away to Florida. Thank God I did, because it's where I'm at now, and so thankful I met you. And
yep, same here.
yeah. So ran away to Florida, went to University of North Florida, and eventually got my degree. I got 2 degrees, one in marketing, and then I've got a backup in finance as well.
Okay.
And it was during college that I had my next clue. I met a guy that I actually had a crush on, and I don't think he really knew I had a crush on him, but he invited me. He was a year older than me, and he invited me to go on a ride day. He was a medical sales rep.
Wow. Okay.
And he invited me to kind of check it out and see what it was like. And so that was another clue. He was a person that came into my life, and I went and did a ride day with him, and I said, this is exactly what I want to be doing. And of course, I had that experience in being working at a blood bank that entire summer.
Right.
So I went into diagnostic blood sales, laboratory diagnostic blood sales.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how old were you when you started that? Was right out of college? Did you do that? Did
Right
you
out
get a
of
job?
college.
Okay. And so now you're doing this. You're working for this company, and then what?
So working for this company was their top producer, one of the largest diagnostic labs in the world. It's actually the largest in the world today. And at this point, I'd been there for at least 9-10 years, and was in my early 30s, and was doing really well. I was making more than the CEO of the company, which was actually a problem, and didn't know that. But in retrospect, I'd come back from President's Club, and my boss called me in his office, and I thought it was to congratulate me on how great I've been doing.
By the way, you're out of. They kicked you out, right? They fired you.
They did. They fired me.
Yeah. Yeah.
They fired me.
Yeah.
So that was another clue.
It's not surprising though.
Yeah. No.
It's not, because that happened to me in New York. I was fired. Yeah. But anyway.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's just another setback. That was a setup.
Right. He had to get you out of there
Yeah.
in order to show you what he wanted you to do.
Yeah, 1,000%. And that's when I started my company. And that was a little over 20 years ago. And fast forward, what's really fascinating is that same company that fired me, they're my number one client now. We've done over 2.2 billion
He's not
in
there
transaction.
anymore, right?
No, he's not there. As a matter of fact, he
got booted.
He did. He did. They all do. They all do. They all do.
Well,
you know?
exactly. It's not uncommon.
Not uncommon at all.
Wow.
And so they're my number one client now. And then another irony of the whole thing is that the CEO of that company is now my business partner in my company.
Oh, you're kidding.
No. So the whole thing was just a full circle moment. So it's all God. And again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're out there listening to this, if you're going through a tough time, if you've been fired, if you've had a freak accident or anything's happened to you, please realize that it is a setup for you to take a step back, look deeper, and figure out what the clues are so that you can propel yourself to the next level.
Yeah. There's that is so cool. And there's a song by Casting Crowns, and I should have brought it with me, but it talks about letting go of your plans and letting him dream for you. And
oh, wow.
Right? Because look what he did with David. David was just a little shepherd boy.
Yeah.
And he's like, you're going to be the king of all kings, right? Not him. No, king, not king of kings, because that's Jesus. But and what he did with the shepherd boy and Goliath.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
So let God guide you in what you're supposed to do, because there are clues. I love that. There are clues to what he wants you to do. If you're in tune with him, he will direct your steps. And I pray that every day, to direct my steps. And that's obvious what you're doing. You pay attention to the clues.
In a big way.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is so incredible.
Yeah, I'm very aware of them. Very aware of them.
So you have a business partner, and do you work together, or is he still doing other things, or you guys work in tandem?
Yeah, so the ex-CEO of the company that fired me is now a 50-50 partner in my business.
Okay.
Brought him in, and I work with my stepfather, who's also a minority partner in my company. And I've got an amazing team, amazing team. The best of the industry are now working with me. So in my end of my career, I'm just so incredibly blessed to be able to have a team that puts God first and family. All of us put God first and family.
That is so key. You know, that is so important to me as well. In you know, the Rosie's Garden and obviously Faith Stories. Hello, that's a no-brainer. You know? I mean,
of course, yeah.
But even with Rosie's Garden, I'm the same way. It's like, it's all for Him. Give glory to Him, because 100%. He's the one that gives you the gifts that you have.
Yes.
It's not, they don't come out of osmosis or hard work. Yes, hard work is part of it, but having and knowing where that comes from.
1,000%.
Right?
I give 100% of everything, all of our success to God.
Yeah. Yeah. So I want to talk about your book, Clues. We've got a couple minutes before we need to go to commercial. So let's talk a little bit, because I know we've kind of interwove it, but I know this book has helped so many young ladies in your mentoring program.
Yes.
Let's talk about that first.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but I like the mentoring, because that is so important, I think, to help people.
Absolutely.
And give back.
Well, it's all kind of intertwined.
It is, true.
Clues was generated during COVID. I was writing this book during COVID. It's a big part of my life purpose at this point, over and above what I do with the medical diagnostic industry. But it was actually written by myself and a group of young girls.
Right.
And I met those young girls at North Broward Preparatory School, where I conducted a contest, and they helped me write the book. And we actually came up with a theme called the American Interns. And the American Interns is basically the not-for-profit organization that I'm in the process of forming, whereby if you get the book Clues and you go to our website at theamericaninterns.com and you like the book and you want to be able to kind of explore what your God-given purpose is, then you can go and you can enter an annual contest that we conduct. And if you're awarded the annual American Intern Award, then you get mentorship and internship opportunities with myself and my entire network of women, which are some pretty phenomenal women. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can I get a mentor? No. I'm just kidding.
That's great.
I'm kidding.
Why not? Why not?
No, I think that is so incredibly awesome, and what an opportunity for young ladies, you know, because I don't know if there's a lot of mentorship programs out there. I'm sure there are, but that you took it upon yourself to want to do that and give back to young women and help them and guide their steps in being successful as they enter into the work field, and whether they want to start their own business or go to work for a particular company. How awesome is that? Yeah,
no, it's incredible. And the women that are in my network, it's everywhere from, you know, school teachers all the way up to surgeons to, you know, billionaire who's got, you know, started several tech companies. So success is something different to everybody. It's not all just about the money.
So true.
But one thing we all have in common, whether they're Jewish or whether they're you know, Christian, you know, they all focus on putting spirituality and God at the front and center. Right. And that's what's really important, and that's what differentiates what I'm doing with these young girls is making sure that everybody's got that focus.
Yeah, you have to, and I wish I had that when I was younger. I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't go to college. I didn't even know what I wanted to be. I didn't even know I was going to be a podcaster. But God Freddie, constantly telling me, well, you need to do a show, and then I finally had time to do a show, and I'm so thankful that God gave me this platform, because I get to interview amazing women like you.
Oh, thank you, Dawn.
And just being blessed by, you know, just meeting you, and, you know, we met at an event back in January, and I'm just so thankful.
Likewise. You're amazing, and thank you for having me. This is such a wonderful opportunity.
Isn't it fun?
Yeah, it's fun.
Okay, so where can they get your book? Show the cover. Oh, and then we have Junie T. I hope you've seen it.
So Junie is one of the companies I'm an investor in.
Yes.
You can get this on Amazon, all of the Targets, Shopify, and then on the West Coast, it's in the Erewhons and in Costco. And then my book Clues is on Amazon. And, you know, or you can feel free to reach out to me if you want an electronic copy. I can give you my information through Dawn, or you can just reach out at m18butterworth@yahoo.com.
Yeah, awesome. Absolutely awesome. All right, so you know what? We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back, you guys.
Broughton Garage Door Sales now offers you a difference with the LiftMaster Secure View Ultra Quiet Smart Opener with camera, LED 360-degree lighting, and battery backup. Built-in camera adds video and two-way audio communication to the MyQ app. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage anytime, anywhere from your smartphone. Schedule today at broughton.com.
Just simply call Broughton. We open doors for you.
Tavilla Properties, located at 11471 West Sample Road, Suite 17, located in Coral Springs, Florida, for all your commercial needs. Call Jan at 954-341-1632. That's 954-341-1632, or visit www.tavillaproperties.com. Welcome back to Faith Stories. If you have any prayer requests, please email me at faithstorieswithdawn@gmail.com. That's faithstorieswithdawn@gmail.com.
And welcome back. Okay, Melissa. So let's wrap it up. What is the nugget that they can take home and share? By the way, share on social media, please. Subscribe. What nugget do you want to encapsulate what we were just talking about?
You know, I think the biggest thing is that, you know, ladies, you can do anything you put your mind to. Absolutely anything. And I really want you to start being more subconsciously aware of clues that come your way, whether it's through somebody that you meet, a hunch, a dream, maybe it's something that's happened to you that you see as kind of negative. I want you to be able to turn that around and see how you can maybe make that into your life purpose.
Ooh, that's powerful.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what you did.
Yeah.
That is so awesome. Wow.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, girlfriend.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you came.
I'm so glad.
I'm so glad it worked out because, you know, it was a little touch and go there, and I'm so glad it worked out. So, all right, you guys. So next week, I have Jessica Morgan. I actually know her parents really well. I've known them, oh my gosh, way too long. I'm not even going to tell you how long. But she's adorable. She's, her dad used to play for the Miami Dolphins, and I just love her. She does her own little podcast. I shouldn't call it little because it's not. It's a powerful podcast, and it's a faith-based podcast. So she's coming on, but she's going to talk about her little girl, Sage, and how she was born. I believe she was like 5 months old or 6 months. She was 5 months old when she was born. And the story and the faith that she has, her and her husband, is amazing. So listen, we'll see you next week, Wednesday at 3 o'clock. Check out social media. Please share and subscribe to family and friends and beyond. All right, you guys, have a blessed week, and we'll see you next week on Wednesday at 3.
Thank you for watching Faith Stories, where you will hear stories of hope, faith, and love. Please join us next week, and remember, God meets you where you are, but doesn't leave you where you are.